about your back, baby? Backs have become a bit of an issue because a lot of us have been working from home, perhaps not at desks that are convenient for the shoulders or the back. One of my friends had got her computer on the bed. We're also not moving as much, like going out for a sandwich or commuting, like walking to the tube, to the bus, walking between them, walking to the office. And then a lot of people have just started doing running and, you know, not doing all the stretches of that. So whatever age you are, you can help your back health without even getting up. So if you sit in any chair, if you're relaxed, support your back. So if you're on the sofa, have a cushion between your back and the sofa. So this sort of natural arch in the back, it's usually more pronounced in women. It's the lordotic spine. It's often more pronounced if you're Afro-Caribbean, but it can be anybody. But you've got a bit of support if you're relaxing. When you're relaxing, then you can switch off your belly muscles, the core muscles. If you're working, it's a good idea to stand up often. It's a good idea to walk anyway, but if you're working and this is your workstation, imagine your computer there, a little gap between your back of the chair and sitting up tall. So rather than slumping, a lot of us sort of do that slump and worrying with the shoulders up by the ears. So think consciously of bringing the top of the shoulders away from the ears, sitting away from the back of the chair, feet flat on the floor and sitting up. Now that's fine when I'm thinking about it. This is how I sometimes find myself sitting, writing seriously. So if you catch yourself in your habit position, so a habit position could be this, it could be that, it could be this. Just readjust. So perhaps bring the shoulders back. So nearly all of us need to bring the shoulders back and down. Think of the scapula gently pulling together as if you've got an orange between your shoulder blade. Don't have to do it too tight, but that sensation of back and down. Also moving it a little bit, giving it a bit of a squeeze, giving it a bit of a shake as you're typing. The other thing you can do is stretch out the back. So instead of just slumping, sitting up nice and tall and then exaggerating, so I'm drawing my hands back along my thighs and arching my back, thinking of the chest pressing up to the front corner of the room and then exaggerating that C shape where the navel comes to the spine. And then I'm bringing my fingers in together. So fingers forward, drawing the shoulder back, gently tilting the chin up, look to the top corner of the room, and then allowing the chin to go to the chest, rounding out the back in that curve. If you want to, you could inhale, looking up, bringing the shoulders back and down, that slight arch in the back, and then the exhale here. Imagine the belly pushing the air out of your lungs. So that C shape, the up and down like that, stretching the back of the shoulders, the front of the shoulders, and that mobility in the waist. The other thing that's great for the waist is a rotation. So feet flat on the floor and just bring the hand gently across the side of the thigh, look behind you, forward, hand across the opposite thigh and look behind you. So the first looks I'm doing is the head almost parallel to the floor. You can then imagine you're holding a big beach ball and rotate. So now we're working the shoulders a bit more, so I'm not going to go around quite as far. And you should feel these oblique muscles switching on. So the obliques, the waist muscle, that's the side mid bit of your back that you're working. So again, shoulders away from the ears, feet flat on the floor. Let your head follow the torso. Resting your hands on the thighs, just stretching the neck, ear to the opposite shoulder. Allow the chin to come down to the chest, allow the ear to go to the other side. So we're drawing a shallow semicircle here. Now the noises my neck makes at this point is horrific, but there is no pain. So it doesn't really matter if you creak and crack. If you're older, that's nearly always par for the course, but what we're doing here is these little cervical vertebrae in the back of the neck. We're allowing them to slide across each other, and your internal WD-40, your synovial fluid, is just helping them move a little bit. If you want to, you cross your arms and give you a big hug. That separates the scapula, and you do that same shoulder roll, neck roll, and this is the top of the spine. So a lot of people think all back issues, it's all the lower back. I've seen a lot of people get a lot tighter other side with the arm on top in their shoulders and necks, and I really think that's screen time, whether that's on a computer or on your mobile phone looking down, and a combination of that with worry and not having your home desks set up. Give those shoulders a little bit of a shake. So movement, any sort of movement in your working day is good. If you can get outside, have a little walk round. If you were in the office, you'd probably be popping out for a coffee or a sandwich. If you're retired, well, your days might be different anyway, because you might be isolating like me. I've not been out as much. You know, I'm doing my classes in my home, but I'm not walking to the gym to do that. I'm not getting as much vitamin D3 from the daylight hours. So that's something else to be aware of, trying to get out of the house. Sitting nice and tall now, drawing the tummy in slightly, drawing the pelvic floor up, the side to side move. So taking the back, neck and shoulders through all their ranges of movement, just little, often. So these little taster sessions are about 5 minutes. What I'm going to be doing is a whole half-hour class for you. So if you're interested in more information, just Google tinabaker.co.uk fitness, and we will have a whole class on there, and we're probably going to be doing some Zoom classes that you can join in live as well. Our final little bit of movement today, let's do a row forward and a row back. Just leaning forward, draw the tummy in to support you here, so you can look forward and then allow your head to come down, look down to the floor, stretching the pectoral muscles, the front of your shoulders, stretching the posterior delts, the back of the shoulders, and your rhomboids. If you've not got any shoulder issues, you can also row from the ceiling down to your elbows, stretching your lats, and again a little bit into the side of the ribs and your waist. So motion is motion. Keep moving, keep stretching, particularly if you're sitting at home, working from home, and I'll see you next time.